Have you ever thought a quick plate of leftovers could quietly damage your health? Studies show that certain foods, when reheated, can release harmful compounds linked to cancer and even dementia. Imagine sitting down to a simple meal you believe was safe, only to discover it may be slowly harming your body over time. For older adults, this risk is even greater because our bodies process toxins less effectively as we age. Today, I will show you 5 everyday foods that seem harmless, but can actually become toxic when reheated. These are foods you probably keep in your kitchen right now, and science reveals why the way we prepare them matters just as much as what we eat. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching this video from, and what time of day is it right now? Please share in the comments below. I truly look forward to reading them. And if you enjoy this kind of content, hit the subscribe button so you don't miss future videos. If you don't feel like subscribing, go ahead and tap the like button. It still helps a lot. Overview of reheating habits in American kitchens across the United States. One of the most common sounds in any household kitchen is the gentle hum of the microwave. For many older adults, it represents both convenience and comfort, a quick way to bring a meal back to life without the effort of cooking from scratch. It is part of the heat and eat culture that grew rapidly in the second half of the 20th century and still shapes how we handle food today. Think about how often leftovers become part of the weekly routine. A big Sunday dinner prepared with love for children or grandchildren often leaves more food than anyone can finish. Holiday traditions like Thanksgiving or Christmas fill the fridge with trays of turkey, mashed potatoes, casseroles, and pies. Instead of throwing them away, the microwave allows us to stretch those meals for several more days. For many families, especially seniors who remember growing up during times of thrift reheating, is a habit tied to avoiding waste and saving money. At first glance, this routine seems harmless and even beneficial. Reheating food helps busy adults save precious minutes and keeps older folks from standing too long at a hot stove. It offers independence to those who may not have the energy to prepare fresh meals every day. And in a society that values efficiency, the microwave feels like a trusted friend sitting right on the countertop. Yet there is another side to this picture that is rarely discussed, one that becomes especially important as we grow older. Each time food is cooked, stored, and then reheated, subtle chemical changes begin to unfold. High heat can break down vitamins, alter proteins, and change the way starches behave in the body. If leftovers sit in the refrigerator for several days before being reheated, these changes may intensify, creating compounds that are harder for the digestive system to process. For younger people with strong metabolism and resilient organs, the body can often manage these stressors. But for seniors whose stomach acid is weaker and whose livers and kidneys filter more slowly, the risks are greater. What was once a harmless shortcut in middle age can become a hidden burden in the later years of life. Digestive discomfort, unexpected bloating, or unexplained fatigue after reheated meals are often dismissed as just aging, but in reality, they may reflect how our bodies struggle to handle altered food chemistry. This does not mean you should fear every leftover meal. Instead, it is a call to be more mindful. When you reheat food, aim to do it only once and finish the portion you warm. Store dishes in small containers so they cool quickly and try to eat them within a day or two. When possible, prepare smaller amounts to reduce the need for reheating altogether. And if you do rely on leftovers, balance them with fresh fruits, vegetables, and simple salads to support digestion. The truth is, reheating food is part of everyday American life, and it will likely remain that way. But by understanding the hidden effects and making small adjustments, you protect your body, maintain independence, and enjoy peace of mind. Growing older does not mean surrendering control. It means using knowledge and care to keep every meal working for your health, not against it. Food number 1, spinach. In countless American kitchens, spinach shows up in familiar ways, tossed into a crisp salad, blended into a green smoothie, folded into a creamy pasta, or layered between sheets of lasagna. It carries the reputation of a superfood, praised by doctors and dietitians for decades. Fresh spinach is full of essential nutrients, offering vitamins A, C, and K, as well as iron and powerful antioxidants that support heart health, immunity, and even skin vitality. For older adults who want to protect their independence, spinach often feels like the kind of choice that keeps the body strong. Yet hidden within this leafy green lies a quiet risk when it is stored and reheated. Spinach naturally contains high levels of nitrates compounds that in their original form can help blood vessels relax, improve circulation, and lower blood pressure. That is the reason many athletes once turned to nitrate-rich foods to boost endurance. But the science shows another side. When spinach is cooked, stored for several days, and then reheated, especially in a microwave, those healthy nitrates can transform into nitrites and eventually into nitrosamines. These nitrosamines are the same compounds that research from the World Health Organization and the National Cancer Institute have linked to cancers of the stomach and colon. For younger people, the body may filter and manage small amounts of these compounds without immediate harm. But for seniors, the risks increase because our natural defenses are not as strong as they once were. As we age, the liver and kidneys become less efficient at processing toxins, and our cells repair themselves more slowly. That means a habit as simple as microwaving spinach soup on the third day can contribute to a slow accumulation of harmful compounds. Over time, this may not only raise the risk of digestive cancers, but also add to the inflammation that scientists now associate with cognitive decline and dementia. Think of a familiar scene. On Sunday, you prepare a large pot of vegetable soup, adding handfuls of fresh spinach at the end for color and nutrients. You store it in the refrigerator and enjoy a bowl for dinner. By Tuesday, you ladle out another portion, reheat it quickly in the microwave, and feel good about eating vegetables. Yet inside that bowl, the spinach has already undergone subtle chemical changes that no one can see or taste. The meal still feels nourishing, but it may be quietly adding stress to your body. The good news is that this risk does not mean you need to give up spinach. The solution lies in how you prepare and store it. Whenever possible, enjoy spinach fresh in a salad or lightly sautéed and eaten immediately. If you add it to soups or casseroles, try eating those dishes within a day or two and avoid reheating multiple times. Should you need to reheat, use gentle heat on the stovetop rather than a microwave because slower heating reduces the formation of harmful compounds. And if you are someone who likes meal prepping, consider keeping spinach separate and adding it fresh to each portion just before eating. For many older adults, food is not only about nutrition, but also about memories and traditions, recipes passed down, favorite comfort meals, the pride of offering something healthy to family. Recognizing the hidden risks in reheating spinach is not about shame or fear. It is about protecting those moments, ensuring that the foods you love continue to serve your health rather than undermine it. By making small changes, you stay in control of your well-being, guarding both your body and your mind for the years ahead. Food number 2, potatoes. For many Americans, potatoes are the ultimate comfort food. Mashed with butter at Sunday dinner, baked with a crisp golden skin, or cut into fries shared around the table, they carry warmth, tradition, and satisfaction. On holidays like Thanksgiving and Christmas, mashed potatoes and cheesy casseroles appear on nearly every table, filling plates and hearts with a sense of home. Leftovers often become part of the following week, reheated quickly for lunch or supper. It feels like a practical way to enjoy familiar flavors while avoiding waste. Yet behind that familiar comfort lies a little-known risk. When potatoes are cooked, cooled, and later reheated, the starch inside them changes form. This process, called retrogradation, makes the potato less digestible, but that is not the only concern. In certain conditions, such as when potatoes are wrapped in foil and allowed to cool slowly, they create an oxygen-poor environment where harmful bacteria can grow. The most dangerous of these is Clostridium botulinum, the bacterium responsible for botulism, a rare but serious type of food poisoning that affects the nervous system. Botulism does not announce itself with a sour smell or a spoiled taste. The toxins it produces are invisible, odorless, and tasteless, which is why they can be so insidious. Symptoms may begin with nausea, dizziness, or blurred vision, and in severe cases they can interfere with muscle control, even threatening breathing. While younger adults may have a better chance of recovering quickly, older adults face greater risks. The immune system grows weaker with age, and the digestive system is less able to fight off harmful bacteria. What once seemed like a harmless reheated side dish may now place unnecessary stress on an already vulnerable body. Think about a common holiday tradition. A tray of baked potatoes is served at a family gathering. At the end of the evening, a few are wrapped in foil and placed in the refrigerator. 2 days later, one of those potatoes is microwaved for a quick lunch. It looks fine, smells fine, and tastes fine, yet the conditions in that foil wrapping may have allowed dangerous bacteria to flourish. For someone in their 70s with a slower metabolism and reduced immune defenses, that simple reheated potato could trigger hours or days of discomfort, or in rare cases, a serious health emergency. The good news is that these risks can be reduced with a few practical habits. First, if you prepare baked potatoes, cool them quickly and store them in airtight containers instead of wrapping them in foil. Second, try to eat potato dishes within 1 or 2 days, rather than stretching them out for an entire week. Third, when reheating, make sure the food is heated evenly on the stovetop or in the oven, not just warmed on the surface in a microwave. And if you find yourself with more leftovers than you want to reheat, consider transforming them into a cold potato salad with fresh herbs and a touch of olive oil. This way you enjoy the flavor while avoiding the risks of repeated heating. For older adults, food is more than fuel. It is memory, comfort, and a way to stay connected with family traditions. Recognizing the hidden dangers of reheated potatoes is not about giving up those memories, but about protecting them. By making small, thoughtful adjustments in the kitchen, you can keep potatoes as a source of joy rather than concern. The power to safeguard your health lies in these everyday choices, and even small changes can bring peace of mind along with every meal. Food number 3. Eggs. Few foods are as beloved in American kitchens as eggs. Whether scrambled softly for breakfast, fried sunny side up on a Sunday morning, or hard-boiled and kept in the fridge for snacks, eggs have long been considered a staple. They are affordable, versatile, and packed with nutrients. Inside each egg lies high-quality protein to support muscles, choline, that nourishes the brain, and vitamin D that strengthens bones. For older adults, these benefits seem like the perfect reason to keep eggs on the menu nearly every day. But there is a detail many people never think about. When eggs are cooked fresh, their proteins unfold in a way that makes them easy to digest, and the cholesterol inside the yolk remains stable. Yet when eggs are cooked stored and then reheated, especially in a microwave or at high heat, their chemistry changes. The proteins become tougher, less digestible, and the cholesterol can oxidize into compounds called oxysterols. These oxysterols are linked to inflammation, which plays a role in heart disease, memory decline, and even conditions like dementia. For seniors who often already face challenges with circulation, joint pain, or cognitive fog, these subtle changes may add up. What feels like a simple reheated breakfast can slowly place extra strain on the body. Over time, the habit of reheating eggs may feed into the very problems many older adults work hard to avoid: trouble with the heart stiffness in the arteries and the frustrating lapses of memory that steal independence. Picture a common routine. On Sunday, you boil a dozen eggs to save time during the week. By Wednesday, you grab one from the fridge and pop it in the microwave, thinking it is a healthy, protein-packed choice. The egg looks fine and tastes familiar, but inside the cholesterol has already undergone oxidation, creating compounds that your body must work harder to process. The risk is invisible, yet real, and it builds quietly with each repetition. The encouraging news is that you do not need to abandon eggs to stay safe. Instead, focus on how you enjoy them. Eat eggs fresh whenever possible, or use them cold in dishes like egg salad sandwiches or deviled eggs, which remain classics at American picnics and potlucks. If you need to reheat, do so gently on a low-heat stovetop rather than blasting them in the microwave. And perhaps most important of all, avoid reheating eggs more than once. Each round of heat only increases the breakdown of nutrients and the formation of unwanted compounds. Food is more than just fuel for seniors. It is part of routines, family traditions, and even the sense of control in daily life. Recognizing the hidden risks in reheated eggs is not about fear or guilt. It is about protecting the body you rely on, ensuring your meals continue to bring strength rather than harm. With a few mindful choices, eggs can remain the affordable, nourishing favorite they have always been, without quietly undermining your health. The power rests in your hands, and small adjustments today can preserve both your heart and your memory for years to come. Food number 4. Chicken across America. Chicken has become one of the most common healthy choices. Skinless chicken breast is often recommended by doctors, trainers, and diet programs because it is low in fat, high in protein, and easy to prepare. Many older adults rely on it as a dependable source of nutrition, a way to stay strong without adding too many calories. In recent years, meal prep has made chicken even more popular, cooking several portions at once and storing them in the fridge to reheat throughout the week. It feels practical, efficient, and smart. But here is where an unseen issue begins. When chicken is first cooked, the proteins unfold and become easier for the body to digest. Yet when that same chicken is reheated, especially in a microwave or at high heat, those proteins undergo further changes. They form compounds known as advanced glycation end products, often shortened to ages. Scientists have studied ages for years, finding that they play a role in chronic inflammation. Inflammation, in turn, is linked to heart disease, diabetes, arthritis, and even Alzheimer's disease. For older adults whose bodies already fight a daily battle against inflammation, this hidden transformation can add to the burden. Many seniors report bloating, indigestion, or fatigue after reheating chicken without realizing the connection. Others feel an increase in joint stiffness or unexplained discomfort, chalking it up to aging. In truth, the way leftovers are handled can quietly affect how the body feels and functions. Imagine a very real example. You pick up a rotisserie chicken from Costco, planning to stretch it over several days. On Sunday evening, the family enjoys it fresh and juicy. On Tuesday, you reheat a portion in the microwave for lunch. The texture feels a little rubbery, the taste slightly off, but you eat it anyway. What seems like a small compromise in flavor may reflect deeper changes within the food-producing compounds that place stress on your digestion, your joints, and even your memory. This does not mean you need to give up chicken. Instead, it calls for mindful adjustments. First, try to cook just enough for one meal or one day, so reheating is not necessary. If you enjoy leftovers, consider using cold chicken instead of reheating it. Sliced chicken breast can make a refreshing salad, a hearty wrap, or a simple sandwich with whole grain bread. These meals feel lighter, preserve the nutritional value, and avoid the risks tied to high heat reheating. If you must reheat chicken, choose a low-temperature oven or stovetop method. This gentle approach reduces the formation of ages compared to microwaving. Avoid reheating the same portion multiple times, as each cycle of heat adds to the problem. And remember, storing cooked chicken in small containers allows it to cool quickly, slowing bacterial growth and protecting both safety and flavor. Food is more than just nutrition, especially for older adults. It is comfort, memory, and connection. Recognizing the hidden risks in reheated chicken is not about fear, but about empowerment. With small changes, you can continue enjoying one of America's favorite proteins without quietly undermining your health. By making careful choices in the kitchen, you protect your heart, support your mind, and keep your body moving freely. The decision is yours, and with knowledge and care, chicken can remain a true ally on the path to healthy aging. Food number 5. Mushrooms. Mushrooms have earned a comfortable place in American kitchens. They add flavor to pizza, depth to soups, richness to pasta, and a savory bite to a breakfast omelet. Many families reach for them not only because they taste good, but also because they bring valuable nutrition. Mushrooms provide dietary fiber B vitamins that support energy and nerve health, and antioxidants that help the body fight everyday wear and tear. For older adults looking to protect vitality, mushrooms often feel like a smart, wholesome choice. Yet these humble fungi have a hidden weakness when it comes to storage and reheating. Unlike many vegetables, mushrooms contain delicate proteins and fats that are especially sensitive to heat. When cooked, once those nutrients release flavor and become easier to digest. But when reheated, particularly after sitting in the fridge for a day or two, those same compounds can break down further, forming oxidized byproducts. Scientists call this oxidative stress, and it is a process tied to chronic inflammation, cardiovascular disease, and even memory decline. For seniors who already face greater challenges with inflammation and digestion, the impact may be more noticeable. Reheated mushrooms often lose their pleasant firm texture and become soft, watery, or even rubbery. Their flavor turns muted sometimes with a faint sour note. What looks like a simple change in taste or texture actually signals deeper chemical shifts inside the food. These shifts can make the mushrooms harder to digest, leading to bloating, sluggishness, or discomfort that older adults may mistake as just another sign of aging. Picture a familiar moment. You prepare a creamy mushroom risotto for dinner, rich and comforting, the kind of dish that makes a chilly evening feel warm. The next day, you reheat the leftovers in the microwave for a quick lunch. Instead of creamy satisfaction, the risotto feels heavier, the mushrooms soggier, and your stomach unsettled. This small change in experience reflects exactly how reheating mushrooms alters their structure, creating compounds your body now struggles to handle with ease. The good news is that mushrooms can still remain part of a healthy diet if handled wisely. One simple step is to cook only what you need, avoiding large portions that require repeated reheating. If you do have leftovers, place them in a sealed glass container rather than a plastic box, since glass reduces moisture buildup that accelerates spoilage and oxidation. When possible, enjoy mushrooms cold the next day in a salad with fresh greens or layered in a sandwich where their earthy flavor still shines without the risk of reheating. Food, especially for older adults, is about more than nutrients. It is about enjoyment, comfort, and the dignity of making choices that support independence. Recognizing the subtle risks of reheated mushrooms is not about fear or restriction, it is about wisdom. By preparing smaller amounts, storing food properly, and choosing cold dishes over reheated ones, you can keep mushrooms as a nourishing ally rather than a hidden burden. With these small adjustments, you safeguard your digestion, protect your energy, and ensure that every meal continues to bring both pleasure and peace of mind. We have walked through 5 common foods that seem harmless at first but can quietly turn against your health when reheated. Spinach, potatoes, eggs, chicken, and mushrooms all carry certain risks when they are cooked, stored, and heated again. For older adults, these risks may be greater because the body does not process toxins or inflammation as easily as it once did. The dangers are subtle yet real. Reheating can create compounds that fuel inflammation, increase oxidative stress, and disrupt digestion. Over time, those changes may raise the risk of chronic conditions from heart disease and diabetes to memory decline or even certain cancers. The food looks and tastes familiar, but inside it may have shifted in ways the eye cannot see. The solution, thankfully, is not complicated. Cook only the amount you are likely to eat fresh, rather than making huge batches that sit for days. When you do have leftovers, consider enjoying them cold in salads, sandwiches, or simple side dishes. If reheating is necessary, use gentle methods like a stovetop or a low-temperature oven instead of relying on the microwave. And always store food promptly in airtight containers to slow spoilage and protect its quality. The bigger message is this: health in later life is not only about what you eat, but also about how you prepare it. Small choices in the kitchen can either add to your body's burden or lighten it. By being mindful, you give yourself the gift of strength, clarity, and peace for the years ahead. I would love to hear from you. Share your own experience in the comments. Have you noticed feeling different after eating reheated leftovers? If this video has been helpful, subscribe and share it with a friend so they too can make simple changes that protect their well-being. And picture this: a quiet morning on the porch, warm sunlight, a fresh cup of coffee, and a light meal prepared with care. That image of calm and independence is what these small adjustments help you protect. You still hold the power to shape your health one mindful choice at a time.